Hey, Hockey fans, how's everybody doing? Hopefully everyone had a great weekend with only one game on. It's probably relaxing. It was just Tampa and Detroit. Tampa ended up winning that game 2-1, so we got that one right, which was great. I think someone made a comment they were going to lay some money on the money line, so congrats if you made some dough. Now we get on to some picks for Monday. Monday, there's 14 games on the board. We'll see if we can start the week off right. Things start off with Dallas and Florida. Florida is 7-2-1 in their last 10. Current 3-game winning streak. Bobrovsky listed to be in net for Florida. Dallas 6-3-1 in their last 10 with one overtime decision for a streak. Khudobin listed to be in net for Dallas. They're in fifth with 55 points in the Discover Central. Florida sits in third with 73 points. Tampa as well with 73 points now. Stars lost an overtime game to Nashville 1-0 on Saturday. Panthers, they're coming off a 5-4 win over Chicago Saturday as well. Last game between these two, Stars have won 2 games. Florida has won 5 games. Hornquist is set to be back, which is going to be a plus for Florida. Bennett with 8 points in his last 5 for Florida. Barkov with 4 goals in his last 5. A lot of things have to go right in order for Dallas to even have a slim chance to make the playoffs. So, yeah, they'll come out fighting hard. It'll be a test for Florida, but I think Florida's just too strong a team. Bobrovsky's too good a goalie, and Florida home team is my first pick to win this game. Florida to beat Dallas. Next game, the Islanders against Buffalo. Buffalo is 3-7-0 in their last 10. Current 4-game losing streak. Tukarski listed to be in net for Buffalo. The Islanders, they're 5-4-1 in their last 10. Current 2-game winning streak. Varlamov listed to be in net for the Islanders. They're in third with 67 points. In the Mass Mutual East, Buffalo sits at 8th with 33 points. Islanders played the Rangers on Saturday, and they won that game 3-0. Sabres lost to Boston on Saturday 6-2. Islanders still in a position to sweep this series as they've won all 6 times that these teams have met. Varlamov, probably the hottest goaltender in the league right now. I think he's let in 1 goal in the last 107 regulation shots. This is the second game, or this is a 2-game set, with Buffalo. And it'll be the last time that these two meet for this season. This is a good test for the Islanders and to get some more support for Varlamov or whoever they've got in net. Get some more goals, figure out how to do that. They're second in goals against, so that's not the issue. The Islanders need to figure out how to score some goals, and hopefully they'll do that against Buffalo. Visiting team here, Islanders to win the game. That's my pick. Next game, we got Boston against the New Jersey Devils. New Jersey's 3-6-1 in their last 10, current 3-game winning streak. Blackwood listed to be in net against Boston, who are 8-2-0 in their last 10, current 3-game winning streak. Tuukka Rask confirmed to be in net for Boston. They're in fourth with 66 points in the Mass Mutual East. New Jersey sits in 7th with 41 points. Saturday, the Bruins defeated Buffalo 6-2, and the Devils, they beat Philadelphia 4-1 on Saturday. Boston has won twice. New Jersey has won 4 times. 2 games to play. Krejci with 6 assists, 8 points in his last 5 for Boston. Boston's first in face-off percentage, 4th in goals against. Boston has the best last 10 record in the division right now, and both teams are on a 3-game winning streak. So one of these winning streaks are going to end. New Jersey has always played Boston really well. I know Blackwood and Wedgwood both have shootouts against Boston this season. But I think this Boston team, after the trade deadline and stuff, is just playing at a little bit of a better level. I see Boston visiting team here to win this game. Boston's my pick, visiting team. Next game, Washington against the New York Rangers. The Rangers are 6-4-0 in their last 10, current 2-game losing streak. Shesterkin listed to be in net for the Rangers against Washington, who are 6-3-1 with a current 1-game losing streak. Vanacek listed to be in net for Washington. They're in second with 69 points in the Mass Mutual East. The Rangers in fifth with 58 points. Saturday, Capitals fell to second place in this division when they lost to Pittsburgh 3-0. Rangers coming off a 3-0 loss to their New York rivals, the Islanders. Teams play a 2-game set beginning here. Washington has won twice. The Rangers have won 4. Washington has the best road record in the division. And I know Ovechkin and Karlsson were going to be back the last game, and they weren't. So I'm really hoping they're going to be back in the lineup for the Capitals here. Washington's third in power play. They're second in goals for. The last game was March 30th, and the Rangers won that game 5-2. We're a month later now, and I just see Washington. I think the Rangers realize they're not going to get the playoffs either. I mean, Washington here is going to win the game. Visiting team, that's my pick. not going to be easy. The Rangers are a good team, but Washington win the game. Next game, Pittsburgh against Philadelphia. Philadelphia 3-6-1 in their last 10, current 3-game losing streak. Alex Lyon listed to be in net for Philadelphia. Pittsburgh 7-2-1 in their last 10, current 3-game winning streak. Tristan Jarry listed to be in net. In the Mass Mutual East, Pittsburgh now sits in first with 71 points, Philadelphia in sixth with 51 points. Penguins coming off that 3-0 win over Washington to claim first in the division. Flyers coming off a 4-1 loss to New Jersey on Saturday. The Penguins have won 2 here. Flyers actually have won 4. The Flyers have the league's worst defense right now, and even if Elliott is behind them instead of Alex Lyon, I still don't think that's going to stop Pittsburgh, who sits in third for goals for. Pittsburgh's on a tear right now. You can't go against them, not against this Philadelphia team. I think they just lost 3 to New Jersey. Pittsburgh, visiting team here to win the game. Next game, Chicago against Carolina. Carolina 7-0-3 in their last 10, current 3-game winning streak. Nadal Djokovic listed to be in net for Carolina. Chicago 4-5-1 in their last 10, current 1-game losing streak. Lankinen listed to be in net. They're in 6th with 50 points in the Discover Central. Carolina sits in first right now with 75 points. Hawks fell to Florida 5-4 on Saturday, and the Canes, they edged out a win over Columbus in overtime 2-1 on Saturday. The Hawks have won twice. Canes have won 3 times. Chicago has not beat Carolina at home this year. Both wins that they have happened in Chicago. Aho with 8 assists, 9 points in his last 5 for Carolina. Defenseman veteran Dougie Hamilton with 3 goals in his last 5. The Canes are first in power play, 4th in penalty kill, 3rd in goals against, 2nd in face-off percentage. Strong team. Chicago, again, season's over. Carolina is going to win the game. Home team, that's my pick to stay in first place in the division. Next game, Nashville against Columbus. Columbus 1-6-3 in their last 10, current overtime decision. Merzlikins listed to be in net for Columbus against Nashville, who are 6-3-1 in their last 10, current 1-game winning streak. Saros listed to be in net for Nashville. They're in 4th with 58 points in the Discover Central. Columbus in last 8th with 43 points. Predators coming off a big 1-0 overtime victory over Dallas on Saturday. Blue Jackets also had their last game go to overtime. They lost to Carolina 2-1. Predators have found the win column 5 times. The Blue Jackets have only won once in this series. Nashville will look at these next 2 games against the Blue Jackets as a must 4 points to continue to secure their playoff berth. I mean, to hang on to that 4th place position. And I think Nashville will do that here, especially with Saros in net. Visiting team, Nashville, that's my pick. Next game, Toronto against Montreal. Montreal is 5-5-0 in their last 10, current 2-game winning streak. I think Jake Allen will be in net, even though Caden Primo was in net that last game, and he played well, got his first win. Toronto 5-3-2 in their last 10, current 5-game winning streak. Campbell listed to be in net. In the Scotia North, Toronto sits in first, and I believe they have 71 points right now. Montreal in 4th with 55 points in the Scotia North. The Leafs, they won 5-1 over Vancouver on Saturday. The Canadiens, they played a game against Ottawa on Saturday, had an impressive comeback victory, 3-2 in overtime. This is a first of a 3-game set between these two. The Leafs have won 5, Canadiens have won 2. For the Leafs, Matthews with 5 goals in his last 5. Marner with 5 assists, 9 points in his last 5. And then for Montreal, you got Suzuki with 4 goals, 7 points in his last 5. And Petrie with 4 assists in his last 5 games. Montreal's last game, it was a pretty good game against Ottawa. It was impressive. They were on a back-to-back there. They still fought back and ended up getting a W, which is just awesome. And, back when Campbell had that crazy winning streak going, it was also Montreal that put that to a stop as well. I know Toronto's on a good winning streak here, and it's hard to go against that, but for some reason, this Montreal team keeps fighting and hanging in there and getting W's. I'm going to go home team here as an upset. Montreal to beat Toronto. Next game, Winnipeg against Ottawa. Ottawa 6-3-1 in their last 10 with an overtime decision. Hogberg listed to be in net for Ottawa. Winnipeg 3-7-0 in their last 10. Current 6-game losing streak. Brassard listed to be in net for Winnipeg. They're in 3rd with 57 points in the Scotia North. Ottawa sits in 6th with 43 points. The Jets watched a 3-1 lead turn into a 5-3 loss on Friday to Montreal. Senators coming off a 3-2 overtime loss to Montreal as well. The Jets have won 6 in this series. Ottawa has only won twice. Adam Lowry should be back in the lineup. He was a full skate in practice for the Jets, so that would be good. The Jets have to be looking at this as a must-win. They're only 2 points ahead of Montreal right now in the division, so you got to see them getting back on track. Can't see them losing 7 in a row. Can't even believe they lost 6 in a row. Winnipeg, visiting team to win the game. Next game, Anaheim against St. Louis. St. Louis 6-3-1 in their last 10. Current overtime decision. Binnington listed to be in net for St. Louis. Anaheim 4-6-0 in their last 10. Current 1-game winning streak. Gibson listed to be in net for Anaheim. They're in 8th with 39 points in the Honda West. St. Louis in 4th with 53 points. The Ducks had a nice final game at home with Ryan Miller in net. 6-2 win over LA. Ryan Miller obviously retiring after this season. That's his last home game there. The Blues coming off an overtime loss to Minnesota on Saturday, 4-3. The Ducks have won 2 games in this series, and they were the last 2 games played between these 2 teams. Before that, the Blues did win 4. We all have to agree that Binnington has been his old self. He's been looking so good in net right now. O'Reilly with 5 goals, 9 points in his last 5. They've fought hard to get back into 4th and maintain that and hold on to that position. And I think they continue to do that. I think they win here. Home team, St. Louis to beat Anaheim. Next game, Vegas against Minnesota. Minnesota 8-1-1 in their last 10, current 1-game winning streak. Talbot listed to be in net for Minnesota against Vegas, who are 9-1-0 in their last 10, current 1-game winning streak. Fleury listed to be in net for Vegas. They're in first with 74 points in the Honda West. Minnesota in third with 68 points. Knights won 3-2 in overtime against Arizona on Saturday, and the Wild, they're coming off that 4-3 overtime win over St. Louis. Vegas has won twice. The Wild have won 4 games. Wild have not lost to Vegas at home this season. If you watch that last Wild game against the Blues, I mean, with Fiala and Zuccarello, that back and forth for the winning goal, I mean, that's hockey. You don't get better than that. Minnesota has won 4 in a row in this series. They also have a home record of 18-5-1. I see Minnesota continuing that trend. Minnesota to win the game, home team, that's my pick. Next game, LA against Arizona. Arizona 3-6-1 in their last 10 with an overtime decision. Kemper listed to be in net. The LA Kings are 4-6-0 in their last 10, current 1-game losing streak. Quick listed to be in net for the Kings. They're in 7th with 44 points in the Honda West. Arizona in 5th with 50 points. Kings played Anaheim on Saturday, and they lost that game 6-2. Coyotes played Saturday as well, and they're coming off a loss 3-2 to Vegas in overtime. Kings have won 3. Coyotes have won 3 in this series. Last game between these two was April 24th when the Coyotes won 4-0. It's a coin toss game here. Like, I think Coyotes, I mean, they're not going to make the playoffs, I don't think, either. After that overtime loss to Vegas, I think that kind of deflated them a little bit. And the LA Kings, I mean, they come off that 6-2 loss to Anaheim. Their season's over as well. It's kind of a nothing game. I'm going to go Arizona with Kemper in net and see if the home team can pull it out. I'm going to go Arizona to beat LA. That's my pick. Next game, Edmonton against Vancouver. Vancouver's 3-7-0 in their last 10, current 4-game losing streak. Thatcher Demko listed to be in net for Vancouver. Edmonton 7-3-0 in their last 10, current 1-game winning streak. Mike Smith listed to be in net for Edmonton. They're in second with 62 points in the Scotia North. Vancouver in 7th with 41 points. Oilers won the Battle of Alberta on Saturday against Calgary 4-1. Vancouver lost to Toronto on Saturday 5-1. Oilers have a 3-2 lead in this series. McDavid now on 8 assists, 5 goals in his last 5 games. Other level. It's just at another level. Vancouver, they looked like they were going to come back and actually play a little bit of hockey. And in the last few games, I mean, it just doesn't look that way. I mean, I think they've won 1 in the last 6. You got to think Edmonton with Mike Smith between the pipes here is going to win this game. Visiting team Edmonton to win. That's my pick. Next game, last game, Colorado against San Jose. San Jose 2-7-1 in their last 10, current 2-game losing streak. Jones listed to be in net against Colorado, who are 7-3-0, current 2-game winning streak. Grubauer listed to be in net for Colorado. They're in second with 70 points in the Honda West. San Jose in 6th with 45 points. This is a third in a 4-game set. Avalanche won the first 2 games 3-0 and 4-3. Both games in Colorado. Next 2 are in San Jose. Yeah, the Avalanche won the first 2 games. Avalanche have won 5 in this series. The Sharks have only won once. McKinnon with 3 goals, 7 points in his last 5 for Colorado. Makar, he's doing well with 4 assists in his last 5. The Avalanche are first in goals for, fifth in goals against. Strong team here, and San Jose just too inconsistent for me to bet on. I got to go Colorado, visiting team. That's going to be my pick. Colorado to beat San Jose, Edmonton to beat Vancouver, Arizona to beat the LA Kings, Minnesota to beat Vegas, St. Louis to beat Anaheim, Winnipeg to beat Ottawa, Montreal to beat Toronto, Nashville to beat Columbus, Carolina to beat Chicago, Pittsburgh to beat Philadelphia, Washington to beat the New York Rangers, Boston to beat the New Jersey Devils, the Islanders to defeat Buffalo, and Florida to beat Dallas. My best bet, I'm actually going to make that. It's not an easy one, but I'm going to take Minnesota. I'm going to take the Wild to beat Vegas. That's my best bet. I'm going to do 3 2-game parlays. My one parlay, I'm going to go Penguins money line 1.64, Montreal puck line plus 1.5, 1.54, one parlay. Second one, Islanders puck line minus 1.5 pays 2 even. Carolina money line 1.43. That's my second parlay. Last one, a little higher risk. Minnesota money line pays 2.1. Edmonton puck line minus 1.5 pays 2.3. Those are my 3 parlays. Hope everyone has a great start to the week. Good luck with your picks. Hope everyone's staying safe. Thanks for watching. Talk soon.